Hi, so we're on day 5, I think, 5, 6. And today I've had a bit of a change of scenery. I'm not at my home, I'm at my boyfriend's place, so my whole routine has been thrown off. I had to find a new place to set up for filming, but I'm really glad that I didn't overthink it too much. I just set up where it made sense and then just got on with it. But the rest of my routine is not really in place. I've been super lazy. I didn't go to the gym. I didn't meditate. So those things have not happened yet today. And I'm feeling a little bit blah, but I'm here. I showed up, and that's what's important. In terms of the exercise itself, I think I'm doing better with looking at the camera, but I'm still not doing so well in terms of eliminating those filler words. That might be also because I don't have a script, or maybe because I haven't even planned literally anything about what I'm going to talk about. So I'm not entirely convinced, and I'm still forming the ideas as I'm going. But anyway, I also have been posting about this experiment on Threads, and I've noticed that people have been interested and they want to follow along. They've been asking what is this challenge? So I told them I made it by myself. And that's not 100% accurate. There is this wonderful individual called Justin Schumann on the internet who really advocates social media as a tool for getting to know yourself or improving as a person. But I couldn't afford his course or didn't want to spend the money on. I've spent so much money over the years on all of these coaching programs that I haven't finished. So I was like, this time I'm just going to skip and I'm just going to do the thing. And even if I don't get the 100% value of whatever he might be saying, I'm still going to get some benefit from actually having shown up to do this work. So here I am. And I can feel how it is rewiring my brain already. I also think, like, I'm starting to understand that entrepreneurship is not really about entrepreneurship or creativity, because they're all creative pursuits. Creative pursuits are not about the money that you make or the output that you produce or the problems that you solve, but it's really about the transformation that happens within you. And I don't see enough people talking about it. I don't see enough people discussing how the process changes you as a person and how much capacity that builds for you to apply to other areas of your life. Like, I'm doing this as a creative exercise, but I can already see that it's had impacts on other areas of my life. So that's that. And as for why did I want to do a creative exercise, I've never discussed this, but it was one of my 4 things, right? Like the body, the money, the partner, and the creativity. So why was creativity so important to me, or creating so important, is because how do I put this? When you create, you're essentially playing. It's play, and play is the diametric opposite of stress. You cannot be stressed when you're at play, and it's only when you're at play that all of your higher level faculties come into alignment, where your different parts of your brain are speaking to each other, where your creative output is flowing, where you become childlike. And all of this, of course, is good for your mind. It's also really good for your health, because again, if it's the opposite of stress, and stress is basically your body thinks it's going to die. I should do a video about that. But your body thinks that it's at risk of dying. That's what stress is. So the opposite of that is play, and it's the most alive thing that you can do with yourself. So if you really want to express your aliveness or celebrate being alive, then creating is a fundamental part of that. We are wired to create, and that's why I'm here doing this exercise. So that's that. Now, in terms of something that I would like to talk about today, I thought of something before I started recording this video, and now I don't have it. Whoops. I I think I can talk about women and anger. So I was raised, I'm Indian, and I think that South Asian culture really represses women's emotional spectrum. And I thought this was a South Asian thing, but it's actually a woman thing. It's global. Worldwide, women have the same problem of being shamed into not expressing their anger. So I just want to say, like, it's easy to say that, yes, your anger is valid and you're allowed to feel your anger, but anger is a very necessary part of your path as a human being. So if you look at the spectrum of human emotions, you have things like guilt and shame sitting right at the bottom. And then way up top, you have things like love and light and enlightenment and so on, right? Peace and joy. So if you compare the entire spectrum of human emotions, then yes, anger sits somewhere at the bottom. It's not an optimal response. But aiming for an optimal response negates your humanity. It suppresses the part of you that is very human and might not be at that love and light and peace and joy place. So to judge yourself against the entire spectrum is very unfair to yourself, and it puts a lot of pressure on yourself. You can't aim for the 10 out of 10 response on this test when you're averaging a 2, right? So if you're at a 2, if your normal response is guilt or shame, and now suddenly this thing makes you angry, then that anger is actually a step up from where you've been previously. And to somebody on the outside, anger doesn't look like a positive emotion because they're comparing against the whole. So you should not take their opinion into consideration, because your anger should be compared against where you were previously. Only you can know if your anger is a step up or a step down on that emotional scale for you. And if it is a step up, then embrace it, love it, cherish it. When I started to really decenter men and start to unlearn a lot of the things that I had downloaded from my culture, I was so goddamn angry. I was so angry about so many things. All the things that I had been made to feel like I wasn't allowed to be angry about, I was suddenly very angry about those things. And it took a while, but eventually that anger burns off. It doesn't sit there forever. You're not cursed. You're not an angry woman. You're not a bad woman. You are just processing some emotions, and you really will get to the end of it, even if it doesn't necessarily feel that way. And when you do, you're going to have such relief. Then you can aim for love and light and joy and peace and all the rest of it. But it's really not fair to yourself to put pressure on yourself to get there before you're ready. I think that's what they call spiritual bypassing, when you're trying to skip the ugly parts of your process. So if you are angry about a lot of things, and women have a lot of things to be angry about, we've been lied to about so many things for so long. I think one of the biggest things that we've been lied to about as women is that, we chase things like the partner, the children. Oh my God, who is texting me? We chase things like the partner, the children, the stuff, the status, the jewelry, the clothes, all of this stuff. Wow. And nobody tells you that as a woman, it's really important that you prioritize your pleasure. Prioritizing pleasure is what will help you sit in your feminine, help you be soft, be gentle, be at peace with the world, feel happy. After you've got all of the stuff, the husband, the kids, the house, the everything, and you realize it's not enough, the thing that you're looking for, what will be enough, is pleasure. That's the thing that you're looking for. And I am really angry that we don't tell women that we leave it to young women to figure out that one on their own. So yeah, okay, that is day 5, I think, 5, 6 complete. Congratulations to me. Yay, me. Thank you for anybody watching. I hope you have a lovely day.